2 years into my faith, I have been searching for the intersection between rigorous truth and devout surrender. I was drawn to the vision of returning to the beginning. I longed for the wholeness found in ancient Catholicity. I do not fear the weight of tradition or liturgy. Beneath those solemn black robes, I glimpsed a tender metaphor, a flash of crimson red that whispered, "Do not be afraid." Tradition functions as a sanctuary, built specifically to protect a heart that trembles with honesty. At its origin, a rigorous faith relies on tradition as a shield for internal honesty. The ancient ways exist to preserve that inner light, ensuring it is never replaced by mere performance. I truly hoped to find my place within this transition. But slowly, the atmosphere shifted. No orders were given, yet an invisible threshold appeared. I felt an unspoken pressure to synchronize, to move in lockstep with the crowd. This visualization captures the shift from the organic to the rigid. The whispers of falling behind grew frequent. Questions that were once welcomed as discernment became burdens that required explanation. I saw a frantic rhythm take hold, a mechanical march where maturity meant total synchronization. This rigid uniformity stands apart from the true organic unity of a living body. When a system demands the erasure of individual tempo, it ceases to be a community and becomes a machine. When spiritual obedience is reduced to a mechanical rhythm, I found I could no longer function as a cog. My soul simply refused to sync. A community that prioritizes absolute uniformity over individual conscience creates a vacuum of intellectual honesty. It loses the very Catholicity it claims to protect. The labels, whether slow or skeptical, gradually lost their sting. I chose to press the pause button. I left the noise and certain directions behind. Spiritual discernment requires the courage to exist in uncertainty. It is the willingness to sit in silence, even when the answers remain hidden. Intellectual honesty serves as the non-negotiable floor of faith. Without it, no theological structure can bear the weight of a human life. Observe this hollowing pillar. Without honesty, lived tradition degrades into external shells. The structure stands, but is devoid of spiritual life. This process replaces living faith with dead administrative structures. They look intact outside, but offer no support to the seeking soul. I realized that retreating to the wilderness functions as a necessary survival tactic. It is the only way to protect the soul from the false certainty of the crowd. I will still worship, but I am an independent seeker now. My task is to anchor, not in the heat of a forced consensus, but in the resurrection, that unchanging reality of 2,000 years. If the mechanical institution failed to hold me, I had to look closer at what truly survives. This timeline illustrates a reclaimed view of apostolic succession. It moves away from the transfer of administrative power. The true succession is the transmission of lived experience. It is an unbroken chain of people who each had an authentic encounter with the resurrected Christ. They passed this light horizontally from one honest soul to another, across generations. A tradition is valid only when it connects honest seekers to a living God. Chaining them to an earthly institution is a different task entirely. I have come to rely on incarnational grace. It is the understanding that God works through our slow, messy, and honest human realities, rather than through a mask of perfection. I allow myself to discern. I allow myself to be slow. I allow myself the wilderness. True return is about guarding that flicker of internal honesty. That honesty is the path that leads me back to my Lord. I have no easy answers, only the peace of an honest heart.